The villager is just one of those mobs in Minecraft that can really drive me up the wall. With its annoying noises, stupid transport methods and infuriating breeding practices. You're right, mate, you don't happen to have any carrots, do you? Yeah, actually, I think I do. I've been really trying. I'll be honest, except for the times that they're spewing emeralds in my general direction, I hate them. So today we're going to be grabbing a villager, splitting him open, and seeing what makes him tick. Having read through the comments of my What's Inside a Minecraft Enderman video, I feel the need to mention that of course this video is in fact fake. No, this is not what happens inside a villager, this is a redstone creation that I have built based on my imagination of what I imagine happens inside a villager. Yeah, I didn't think that needed explaining either, but I mean you should read those comments, they're hilarious. Now let's get things started up at the top here with the head. Now everyone knows that villagers have ridiculously big heads. I mean just look at this thing, it's huge, it's completely huge, and I'm sure villagers are well aware of this. In fact, they probably take great pride in the size of their noggins, but on the inside of these things, there is actually something very interesting going on. As you can see, we've got a bunch of villagers, and also a bunch of computers, and that is because this right here is a stock exchange. These guys are performing trades with emeralds and other items to help their villages' economy. Much like we have currency exchanges, we've got the FTSE 100, we've got New York Stock Exchange and everything like that, these guys are doing all of that inside the skull of this dude. It's insane. Obviously, because these operations are incredibly important, all of this is protected by a very thick skull that makes its way right the way around here. And on the outside of that, you can see we've got ourselves a pair of zombies. Now, I know what you're thinking. What on earth are zombies doing on the inside of a villager? They're actually inside the massive nose, so that the villager knows exactly what a zombie smells like, so they know what to avoid. Anyway, dropping down from the head here, we're going to be getting into the complicated redstone circuitry that you can see down at the bottom here. Now this place right here is what decides how much certain things cost. So as you just saw then, the redstone lamps are flickering, things are changing, prices are being altered as we speak, and that is all controlled by these chickens down at the bottom. These are the deliberation chickens, and this chicken right here is the economy controller. So this lamp right here represents the price of the hay bales, and these lamps over here represents the price of the emeralds. And of course these fluctuate, meaning the trades will fluctuate inside the villager. Now this is governed by these chickens right here. They speak to one another, they decide how much they want things to cost, and then they tell this chicken where to stand on the pressure plates, and it powers all of this redstone here, which makes its way into the meters. So the higher this one is, the more wheat is going to cost, the higher this one is, the more emeralds are going to cost. And of course this information is sent by this sender right here up into the stock exchange, and these villagers will make trades based on that information using complicated algorithms and things that they understand, but I personally definitely don't understand because I'm not an economist. So anyway, we're going to be moving on from that one, and we're going to be taking a look at the arms. Now the arms of a villager are always crossed in front of them, which I personally think looks just a tiny bit silly. I don't understand why you wouldn't just put them down by your side. It's so much easier to walk when you have your arms by your side. Who's going to be walking around with their arms crossed? Maybe that's why they're so difficult to transport, funnily enough. But anyway, we're going to take a look at what's going on inside here, and funnily enough, they've actually got 8 sets of chests on the inside of here, which correspond to the 8 inventory slots that a villager actually has. When we flick this lever here, as you can see, all of the items start being fired out because the villager will chuck these onto the floor to either breed with other villagers or potentially plant them in the ground to produce food for more villagers and the farm. Anyway, dropping down into arguably one of the most precious parts of the villager. This is something that I personally would love access to on the Hermitcraft server. It would certainly make my life 10 times easier. That is the precious emerald vault on the inside of the villager right here. It's bright green, it's looking good, and it has got some pistons up at the top, and the security procedure to get in is actually really quite easy. You just flick this lever right here and the pistons retract. You would have expected it to be a little bit more complicated than that because there are a large number of emerald blocks here, but I guess they're just not expecting someone to get inside the villager. Who knows? But anyway, here are all of the emeralds. As you can see, there are thousands upon thousands of them, and every single time you do a trade with a villager, obviously the villager dips into this supply, it uncrafts the emerald blocks, and then it sends those emeralds into your inventory so that you can do what you want with them. Now, I have no idea what happens when the villager runs out of emerald blocks. Maybe it gets a replenished supply, maybe it gets more sent in, or potentially the villager could just die. Who knows? I don't know, you'd have to do a lot of trading to find that one out. Going down even further now, we have got the new villager unit. Now, I'm sure you're all fairly familiar with how villager breeding works. You throw a few carrots or potatoes on the ground, the villager picks them up, and that makes the villager willing to breed. Now, this is actually how it works. When you chuck an item inside this hopper right here, it will go through this little item filter, and it will trigger a dispenser, which will send out a villager, which will make its way out, well, it will make its way out of a thing. It looks like, you know, the genetics of a villager, they're slightly different to humans. Things have been switched around a little bit, and I guess, well, I'm just gonna Yeah, I'll stop talking. I'll let you just put 2 and 2 together there. Finally, down at the very bottom, the tiny little feet of the villager, we have got a door detector. So when it gets dark, obviously these lights turn off, and that means that these doors will close, and that will send a signal up to the brain that will say, hey, you need to get inside your houses because zombies are coming out to play, and you definitely don't want to be attacked by one of those, because that's basically the fight or flight response, and villagers are definitely flights. I mean, what's it going to do? Is he going to fire carrots at the zombie? No, absolutely not. It's going to get inside his house and basically sit tight there. But there we go, that is the internals of the villager. I personally found it very interesting. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I've had a ton of fun recording it. And let me know down in the comment section what mob or thing in Minecraft you want to see next. But unfortunately, that's all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. If you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.